government in action tonight, as there are several things on our agenda and several things that we hope will be decided tonight. Some very positive and some not so positive, right? And I'm looking at you because it's not so positive. He's retiring. All right. First of all, let's bow our heads and let's do a moment of silence out of respect for our vacant seat of City Commissioner Rick Seary, please. Thank you. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Next on our agenda is approval of tonight's agenda. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, ma'am.
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. All those in favor of approving tonight's agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Next on the agenda is a section where we have to hear the public, and we request and identify folks from the public who desire to speak to the commission at this time in our meeting about things that are on the agenda. Later on in the meeting, we'll give you a chance to speak to us about things that are not on our printed agenda. But if you desire to speak to us about items on the agenda, if you raise your hand, I'll recognize you. Come to the podium, identify yourself, and we'll give you 3 minutes or less to state your concern or share your issue with us. So is there anyone from the public desiring to speak to the commission about things that are on our agenda? Okay, seeing none, then let's move right along. Next item for the commission is to approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the minutes of the September 22nd meeting.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second? Thank you, sir. Any additions, deletions, comments, questions about our minutes? Hearing none, then all those in favor of approving the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, likewise, motion carries. Then we get to some of that not-so-good news. We have a retirement recognition tonight. And Chief McGurdy, you do the presentation for us?
All right, so once again, I stand before you to go over one more retirement. Hopefully it'll be the last one for some time. You know,
Promise, right?
I sure hope so. But we are here to honor Scott Lawson. Would you like to join me up here? So Scott Lawson here, he served as our fire marshal for the last 5 years. And today we gather to honor a man whose career has been defined by dedication, professionalism, and courage. For 23 years, Fire Marshal Lawson has served as a professional firefighter with pride and purpose, standing shoulder to shoulder with his brothers and sisters in uniform, protecting this community in its most critical moments. Over the last 5 years, he's continued that mission in a different but equally vital way. As the fire marshal for the city of Danville, in that role, he worked tirelessly to prevent fires before they could happen, to uncover their causes when they did, and to ensure that every home, business, and public space in our city was safer because of his work. Fire Marshal Lawson's dedication has never wavered, whether on the fire ground or in the field. He has shown steady leadership, sound judgment, and genuine passion for serving others. His known professionalism and courage have earned him the respect of his peers and the gratitude of this community. As Fire Marshal Lawson retires, he leaves behind a legacy of service and a department stronger for his contributions. His work will continue to protect and guide this city for years to come. On behalf of the Danville Fire Department, and the citizens you faithfully served. Thank you for your commitment, your leadership, and your 23 years of service. Congratulations on a well-deserved retirement.
Man, I don't know what to say. I'm lost for words. I don't speak that much, right, guys? No, all jokes aside, I want to thank the good Lord for the best job in the world, because really it's not a job. But the next thing is my wife and my family. Not being there for Christmas, Thanksgiving, the holidays, the birthdays. We work this crazy shift. And like I said, that's the two best things, but also the members at the firehouse, the second family. Spend most of the time with them other than my family. So again, it's been a great career. It's not been a job. And like I said, I want to thank the commissions because they listen. Might not like what you hear, but they do listen. And that's what it takes. You're not going to make everybody happy in the world. My job is not the best job in the world because usually when I go out, I disappoint somebody. I'm better than the police department. They always get negative. But I'm close, But no, they're good. We're all good people.
Yes, sir.
So again, Commission, I want to thank y'all for listening. Thank you for what you do. Continue supporting the departments. And with my career here, all the departments of the city, they see me coming, they shake their heads, say, "What's he want now?" But other than that, all departments been real good.
Yeah.
But there's a couple that I really want to stand out because they do get credit, but they don't get the good credit they deserve. That's Public Works. And the reason why I say Public Works, every department calls them for something. Every department calls them for something. And then IT. If it weren't for me, IT wouldn't have a job. I'm just saying, I always got some kind of IT problem. But again, my career's been great here. Danville's been good to me. Started here, I left, went to Bardstown, took a volunteer organization to full-time, had the opportunity to come back. I got to start here and I got to finish here. So other than that, I thank all city workers. Other than that, thank y'all. I don't know what else to say.
Well,
I'm unemployed, I need a job. Janitor, something. Man, I need a job. Can you help me out?
I got one for you. Come on in.
Okay.
You got something?
Yeah, we've got another presentation from the union and then the helmet presentation, but we'll be happy to, whatever route you want to go. So I'm going to introduce firefighter Bug here. He is our union, our local IAFF, International Association of Firefighters, local president, and he has something to award Fire Marshal Lawson as well.
No, in all seriousness, Scooter's done an awesome job here. He's made everybody's life a little bit easier, sometimes harder. But seriously, he's been a great mentor. I just want to say thank you for your time and everything else, and I want to give you a swatch
Thank
for all
you,
the
brother.
union members. And
Bug, appreciate it. Thank you for keeping the union going. Again, it's about working as a team. And wrap this up on my end. Before I left, I was blessed because we had a bad situation going on and just in the community, and we turned it out to be a good thing. And when I say turned out to be a good thing is we had some violations that we had to address, but we had to work with multiple departments. Bull County Mental Health Crisis Team, Bull County Harm Reduction, and Code Enforcement myself. But we had a job to do, we had to do it, but we didn't want a bad outcome. So as joint effort, working as a team, not just city and county, but everybody worked together, the outcome came out good. We got our task done, but also we had somebody that came out in a positive way. So again, as we work together, it can't be one organization. It can't be one individual. It takes us all. Even the community gets involved. And we need that, not just for small towns, everybody. That's how the outcome comes to make towns better. Nothing's wrong with the voice. Everybody's voice, it'll be a win-win, I promise you. It's a win-win as a team. And Bud, thank you for the union.
Not a problem, brother.
Let's see. All right, one last thing. All right, so traditionally, we present the helmet for firefighters when they retire, and we have a helmet presentation that we're going to do here. So it's our honor to recognize Fire Marshal Lawson's 23 years of dedicated service. For more than 2 decades, this helmet has stood as a symbol of courage, commitment, and service. Fire Marshal Lawson has worn it through every phase of his career, from the front lines of emergency response to the vital work of investigation and prevention. Today, this helmet takes on new meaning. It is no longer a tool on the job. It is a symbol of a career completed with honor, a reminder of years of dedication, leadership, and courage in service to his community. This helmet carries the history of a 23-year journey, a journey of challenges met, lessons learned, and lives protected. And now it stands as a testament to a legacy that will endure within the Danville Fire Department and throughout the city you've served. Fire Marshal Lawson, on behalf of the Danville Fire Department and the citizens of the community, we present this helmet to you with deep respect and gratitude.
Yeah, thanks. I'll tell you how bad it is. I had 2 priests sign my helmet.
we're good.
So that's how bad my job was.
He has a priest sign inside his helmet. Yeah. All right, go right ahead.
The city has a gift for you as well, and we know you don't like to take pictures, just like you don't like talking, so we're gonna get you out there in front of the camera. And congratulations, man. And we say these are not happy times for the city, because with those years of experience, a lot of expertise, a lot of training, a lot of skills go outside the door. May come back, may not come back, but, you know, we appreciate all that you've done for our community.
City's been good to us.
I'd like to see us. Silly time, man. Come with the children, right?
Yeah, yeah, I like it.
What's my IT guys?
Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
He knows back there for real.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna skip down. I'm gonna skip down.
Okay.
Guys, after a little deliberation, I'm gonna adjust our agenda. I'd like to go ahead and do number 7 at this time in recognition of Commissioner Siri. So, Madam Clerk, would you read the proclamation again for our records?
Yes. This is a proclamation honoring Rick Saris. Whereas throughout his years of dedicated service, Rick Saris has exemplified the highest standards of integrity, leadership, and commitment to the public good. And whereas Rick Saris served as a Danville City Commissioner from 2015 to 2020, and again from 2022 to present, faithfully dedicating himself to the betterment of the Danville County community, with a deep sense of responsibility, fairness, and compassion, always placing the needs of the people above personal gain. And whereas he has been an integral part of developing and expanding the trail systems in Danville County, working collaboratively to create accessible outdoor spaces that promote health, connectivity, and quality of life. And whereas Rick's unwavering passion for parks and recreation has greatly enhanced community amenities, ensuring future generations can enjoy and benefit from well-maintained, thoughtfully planned public spaces. And whereas through his tireless work, Rick Sayers has contributed to the growth, safety, and well-being of our community. whether through wise decision-making, strong advocacy, or a consistent presence at local events and initiatives. And whereas he has been a trusted voice, a thoughtful collaborator, and a calm leader during times of both progress and challenge, earning the respect of colleagues, constituents, and community partners alike. And whereas Rick Saris's legacy of service will be felt for generations to come, having helped shape a more inclusive, responsive, and forward-thinking local government. Now therefore be it resolved that we do hereby recognize and honor Rick Saris for his outstanding contributions as a public servant and express our profound gratitude for his unwavering dedication to the people he served. Let this proclamation stand as a lasting testament to his leadership, his values, and the deep impact he has had on our community.
Thank you, ma'am. The chair would entertain a motion to, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. You go after that. The chair would entertain a motion to accept this proclamation and let it be recorded in our records. So is there a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. All those in favor of accepting this resolution, this proclamation, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, resolution carries. Along with that proclamation is a resolution number 2510-1302. Can we address that resolution at this time?
Mayor, I'm happy to assist with that
Yes, sir.
if you so desire. The resolution before you would officially declare the vacancy of Commissioner Saris's commission seat, and Kentucky law requires the appointment of a replacement within 30 days. And staff would recommend that you do so on this basis. And I think that at your next regularly scheduled meeting, not the next one, November, the goal would be by November the 10th to have this body declare the appointment after the resignation, after the vacancy is officially declared by passage of this resolution tonight.
Okay, thank you, sir. Is there a motion to accept resolution 2025-10-1302?
I'll make the motion to accept resolution 2025-10-1302.
Thank you, sir.
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. The approval of this resolution declares an official vacancy on the city commission. All those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries. Thank you all. Number 5 at this time, City Government Month. We're going to move that up to right now because that's sort of connected to what we just done. So yes, ma'am. Sir, you want to come up and do the resolution for city government?
Good afternoon, everyone, Mayor, Commission. It is great to be back here in the city of Danville. I'm Sarah Stoll with the Kentucky League of Cities, and October is City Government Month. And so our Executive Director, CEO, J.D. Cheney, has challenged our KLC staff to have at least one KLC staff member visit every single Kentucky city this month, and there are 408 Kentucky cities. And I have 10 on my list, and I personally chose Danville so that I could come back and visit with you all after having worked with you on your city work plan. So it is an honor to be here. I have with me a bag of swag, lots of goodies. So Mayor, I'm gonna need you to share that with everyone. I brought lots. Local coffee, tea, and other KLC swag items.
So share with my wife and my sons. What you talking about?
So in the bag, we'll also have a handout about City Government Month and how you can honor your community and your city. Any questions, Mayor, or anyone in the room?
No, ma'am, I'd like to have the proclamation read at this time. You want to read it, Madam Clerk? She gave it to me in size 6 font. I can't read it.
This is a proclamation for City Government Month. Whereas cities are the economic engine of Kentucky, and more than 56% of Kentuckians reside within a city and rely on their city government to provide a variety of services that improve their quality of life. And whereas there are 408 cities within the Commonwealth of Kentucky. And whereas more than 30,000 people serve roles in their city government across Kentucky and deserve recognition for their contributions. And whereas the goal of City Government Month is to raise public awareness of what all city governments across do and how they impact the daily lives of their residents as well as visitors. And whereas many citizens are now aware of the work done by city governments on their behalf and how critical this work is. And whereas the KLC Board of Directors has declared October 2025 as City Government Month in Kentucky. Now therefore be it resolved that the City of Danville does hereby designate October 2025 as City Government Month. Be it further resolved that city officials and employees are encouraged to engage residents and celebrate City Government Month throughout the entire month of October with creative ways to showcase the contributions of the city.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a motion to accept this proclamation?
So moved.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. All those in favor of accepting the City Government Month proclamation, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries.
So Mayor, if I may, one more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
At the end of the month, our communications and marketing team will be putting together a collage video of all the photos from the city visits. So when the meeting is over, if I could have the honor of taking a group photo with y'all. And JD also wants evidence that I was actually here too.
You know what I
Thank
think's
you.
cool, Sarah, is the fact that you always dress that way, and it just happened to coincide with. That was great.
Sir, you have some other business to tend to? Thank you, ma'am. Since you said it was bling, I'll give it to the.
There's also another order of business
Yes, ma'am.
that I don't believe is on the agenda. But I will say, thank you, Mayor, for your phone call this morning and for letting me know that to honor Rick, everyone was going to be wearing your Hawaiian attire. So I'm very touched and honored on behalf of KLC to honor him and to be here. He was wonderful. He loved this city. He loved this community. And so thank you for sharing that so I could be a part of this tribute to him.
Yes, ma'am, you're welcome.
Also, if I could have Commissioner Donna Peak, please come down here. Come on down.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Good. Happy birthday. Oh, happy birthday, right?
So at KLC, we have what we call City Officials Academy, where city staff, they can be elected or non-elected, can participate in training and earn credit hours. And there are different levels of this training. And this year at our annual conference and expo in Owensboro, just about a month ago, we announced one more tier level. It's the Master City Municipal level. I forget, I'm going to ruin that name, but it's the master level. And so before that, the highest level was the Certified Municipal Officer level. And to achieve this level, an individual had to complete 135 training hours. And last year was the very first year that any of the over 25,000 city officials in the state of Kentucky earned that level. And last year in 2025, there were only 5 individuals who earned that. This year, there were 7 individuals who earned that level. And your very own Donna Peak was one of them. So out of 25,000 city leaders, only 12 individuals have achieved this level. So that is really significant. And it is an honor and a pleasure to present this to you in front of your city.
Mr. Jeff, want to come and take a picture with him? Yeah, you want to say a few words, Donna? I'm good. Oh, wait a minute. Donna attempts to be very shy, but also at the KLC Fall Conference, I guess, annual conference. Commissioner Peak was also recognized as being one of the 12, 10?
10,
10?
12, yeah.
First city leaders to complete the
Leadership series.
leadership training.
Yes.
Yeah, so you got recognized twice statewide, so
No, thank
don't
you.
leave that out. Okay. All right. You feeling better now? Don't be like that. Okay, let's go on then. Let's go back up to number 3, which is our recycling update. Oh, that's Ms. Muncy. There you are.
How are you all?
Good, how are
You're
you?
good, ma'am.
Well, first I'm gonna start with a complaint that, does this start the bad stuff now?
No,
That we've
ma'am.
done
No,
all
no,
the
no,
great
no,
stuff
no,
for
no,
the great
no, no,
people.
no,
Now
no.
we will
Oh,
start
God.
with me.
You just wait.
I see how this is
just-
going tonight.
You just wait. Look.
Is that what it is? Okay.
The bad stuff was when that guy retired from the fire department. That's bad stuff.
Okay, well, we'll just start it off. How's that? Well, this is basically an update. You know, we've been working with the curbside recycling, working towards making it better. Of course, we know it's not there, but it's working at it. We are, in case you don't know, I brought flyers for everybody here, that I am hosting a recycling workshop on Thursday the 30th at Intercounty. I'll let you pass that
thank you.
down. That's just a flyer that's out on social media. And that's basically for anybody in Bull County, but I'm hoping it's more of the curbside recyclers in Danville. So, you know, this will, why things have changed, you know, how they are changing, you know, who and what's to blame, just anything that they would like to know. You know, I can answer that now, but, you know, I think having the recycling workshop is basically a good way for everybody to come
Yes, ma'am.
out and share their, whatever their thoughts are and anything. I'm hoping after this, we have some other things. I'm going to shoot for January 1 as the time that, let's go. You know,
All right.
this is it.
Okay.
Everybody's been educated. I have ordered some things that are in that I'm going to share with you. These will be for code enforcement, everybody using it. These are what they call the OOPS tag we have talked about. They
yeah.
are in, and they're ready to be used, and these will be used to basically say, hey, that don't belong in there. We're not going to pick it up till you clean it up. You know, we don't want your limbs in your recycling. We want everything right. We talked about things being reflective. So we have bought some reflective strips that we will physically put on the cart. So when the trash company runs that 5:30 in the morning, that recycling container reflect. You know, they can see them. And we've also purchased these that will go on top of the lids that'll remind, you can have these, you can share them with
Okay.
everybody. So it just basically reminds you, hey, this is your recycling cart. Let's not put your trash in it.
Yes. That's good.
So, you know, hopefully, I'm working with one of the Eagle Scout groups right now. I'm hoping that will assist me in doing this, and anybody else that's, you know, we'll have to go, of course, go community by community to do this. But, you know, it's gonna take time, but my goal is January 1st to really say, let's do this.
Yeah.
So.
That's great.
Earl, Josh, we've been working together, and I hope that's, you know, hopefully that's doable. I don't think that's too soon since we've been doing this for several months now, so, I just, everybody sort of wants to blame our trash company. Let's not go there because their job's to pick up the recycling trash. Their job's not to police us. They're doing what they're supposed to do. But it's on us. It's the ones recycling, so let's hope this works, and I hope after we have our thing at Intercounty Energy, I've still been getting phone calls, so there's a lot of education going on right now with people just making the phone calls and asking, why, and of course I will share, new things that are coming up once we get moved into the new center, which I can't wait because I feel like I'll be in a castle then. So, other than that, that's all I have. If you got some questions for me, anybody,
When was the go date, when you gonna start?
I'd like to have this go date January 1.
January, okay.
That way it gives us time to get
Yeah.
people more educated, do a recycling forum, recycling workshop thing for the public. We've had it on social media. It gives them time to say, hey, we're gonna put these out. Gives us time to put stickers on the cans and say, now there's really not an excuse.
Yeah. Who's gonna put the yellow hanger out?
Well, that'd be for our code enforcement, and hopefully the trash men, if they have time, can do that.
Okay.
Gives us time, to go through and say, that's not good.
Yeah.
But basically, I'm hoping your code enforcement will help as well.
Yeah.
I know it's a lot, but it's all a lot for all of us.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm one person for the county, and I know there's only a few of them, so it's a lot for us, but, sometimes you can just drive down the road and you can see that ain't right. So it's just a quick X on that and just go on, We're not talking about fining anybody at the moment. If we find out this is not gonna work, then we may have to adjust and say, it's time to hit the pockets. Because you don't want it going to the landfill, and that's our main goal.
Well,
So how will these get on the cans?
We're gonna get out and do that. I've got an Eagle Scout group right now that's going to try to work with me.
So we'll just have to let people know
So
that
we're
this is
just gonna,
happening?
yeah.
we're gonna have to let people know, hopefully. That's what I said, I don't wanna do anything till after the 30th.
Okay. I
We'll
just-
start putting them after we have our big public, forum and stuff, and let everybody know this is, I'm sure everybody watching the meeting and word's gonna go out as I speak anyway. So hopefully, I'll start putting stickers on, putting them on after October the 30th, and hopefully be ready to roll everybody. By January 1st, everything will start looking, if we can get it to 80% looking good, it's success.
Yeah.
Right now, I wouldn't give it 10%.
Well, we've
so.
done this for years, and we've done it well. We've just gotten relaxed, and it's.
Well,
it's
you
been
got relaxed,
getting
but
between.
what's happened, the main story is Danville was doing a good thing in 2010, and, at that time, glass was wonderful, recycling was wonderful, 3 through 7 was wonderful. Then 2017 came, what they called the China sword. And that was where China decided, hey, US, we don't want your garbage anymore. You got to clean your stuff up. And you can do the history on it. And basically, so after that happened, your prices go down, then you have, if you're not in a big, huge city, you can't recycle that stuff. You come to Danville, Kentucky, and this is what we're able to take, this is what we're able to process, this is what we're able to keep out of the landfill. The rest of that stuff we can't take because we don't have a market for it. We don't have anywhere to take it. So that was the big thing that happened to recycling. So you have the people here that's been recycling all these years, and that happens, and they can't let go of that concept. It's called change. They don't like change. And then, of course, COVID hit, which made markets crash even more. But, on that paper is what we take. That's what we're able to take, that's what we're able to process, that's what we're able to keep out of the landfill. So what it is a lot of matter of change And eventually, the secret's out that I will be taking glass when we get moved, but glass will still not be curbside
Yes.
because
Yeah.
it is a contaminant. If it gets charred and broke and it gets in, say, my cardboard, and it goes to the mill and it tears the machine up, then we're in trouble. It's just a matter of how you recycle and single stream and things like that. It's just a matter of understanding. And I know it's a lot to take in, but, you know, that's basically where it's at. A lot of people's just resistant to change.
Other questions?
Appreciate the information and
Yes.
But, you know, that's what I hope to get out on the 30th and what everybody, you know, and that's it's hard to understand, but that's where a lot of people's at. You know, they were doing the right thing for so long,
Yes.
and then bam, you know, you get the whammy put on you. But I'm glad to hear from anybody. If anybody wants to stop by my office, call or anything, I'm more than happy to talk with you. And thank you for letting me, even though you started off with, it wasn't too bad. So I hope there's worse behind me. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Thank you.
You're not retiring, so that's not bad news. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Next on our agenda is fiscal year '24 audit presentation. Ms. Compton, you're going to start us off with that?
So with us is Leanne Waters and Ben Dennison from Cherry Beckert, our audit firm. We have recently issued the FY24 audit. That's the year ending June 30th, 2024, which you all were aware, but maybe some of the public aren't as tuned in. We've been behind for several years on audits. It's very, very hard to catch up, but we're in a good place now to keep rolling into FY25. And so they're going to give you kind of the financial highlights from that year. You all have been presented with their packet, their summary packet. You all have previously gotten a copy of their audit report in your mailboxes. For the public, the audit report is available on our website. And then they will get started within a few weeks. We're signing the engagement letter for FY25 later this evening, and we'll roll into that. But I will let Ms. Waters take it away.
Thank you all. I appreciate you all giving me time on your agenda tonight. I'm going to go over the document that says Client Service Team. I see you have it open there. So over on page number 3, you do have our Client Service Team. I'm Leanne Waters. I'm the Engagement Director. Ben Dennison is our Senior Audit Manager, and he works very closely with Lee and the staff here to get this audit finished. We were joined by Landon Bowman, who was our Senior Auditor, who did many hours of work on the 2024 audit, and then Abby Sievers was our key staff. We are joined by Scott Anderson, who is our second partner reviewer. He is very knowledgeable about governmental accounting issues, so we're really pleased to have him as part of our team as well. On page number 4, I'm pleased to tell you that once again this year, you are receiving an unmodified opinion on the financial statements, the highest level opinion we can give, which means that those June 30th, 2024 financial statements are correct in all material respects. So very pleased about that. Now, when we get over to page number 6, where we have our internal control communication, and for the last couple of years, the city did have a material weakness in internal control. And so I'm very pleased to tell you that that has been resolved. We do not have any findings related to your internal control this year. That was one of Lee's big goals, was to get that cleaned up, and she was successful in doing so. So I'm pleased to be able to tell you all that. When we turn to page 7, we have, as you all know, because the city expended over $750,000 in federal financial assistance, you are also subject to a third level of review, a uniform guidance audit, or you may have heard it called a single audit. So we audited your all's state and local fiscal recovery fund money, or your ARPA money, some people may call it. We did not have any issues with that. We had no findings of internal control over compliance, nor did we have any instances of noncompliance with the requirements of that grant. So that all went very well. When we turn to page 8, we did have one adjusting entry this year in the utility fund. One of the things that we do is we perform a search for unrecorded accounts payable. And so during that test, we did record one disbursement for the utility fund that was approximately $200,000. And we did have what we call an uncorrected adjustment that was related to the accrued interest on the 2023 bond anticipation note. It's a little bit complicated, but the gist of it is an uncorrected entry is one that is not material. It doesn't, by not recording it, it does not change your decision-making ability on these financial statements, but it is of a dollar amount that we at least want to make it known to you. And, you know, that's something that will be considered and recorded probably in 2025. On page number 10, we noted no inappropriate related party transactions. On page number 11, all of the transactions that the city entered into this year we were able to apply accounting guidance to. You had no significant unusual transactions for which there wasn't authoritative guidance. So that was good. On page number 12, you all do have two rather large estimates in your financial statements. Those have to do with your participation in CERS, in the County Employees Retirement System, and that is your proportionate share of the net pension liability and the net other post-employment benefits liability. On page 13, there are just a couple of notes that we like to point out to you all because they are significant, I guess would be the word. That is your participation in the two programs from CERS, and then also your long-term debt. We have that note as being important for you all. We do perform a couple of non-attest services for you. So a non-attest service is anything we do that other than just auditing your books and records. So the services that we perform for you all is that we draft your financial statements. Lee reviews those and takes appropriate ownership of the financial statements as they are yours. And then kind of going along with the Single Audit Act, you are required to file a data collection form with the Federal Audit Clearinghouse. So you all do one of those a year. Our team enters 100 or more of those a year. So that's just something we're pretty proficient in. It's kind of a clunky site, to be honest. So we enter that for you. We provide Lee with the data entry to review and approve, and then we upload it so that it can go about the process of being certified by both Lee and by us as your auditors. So when we perform a non-attest service, we always evaluate it to make sure that performing that service has not impaired our independence in any way, and we have not found our independence to be impaired by those because of the fact that Lee takes that ownership. So just a couple of other things. I'll kind of summarize the last couple of pages there. We just had excellent cooperation with your staff, as you would expect. We did not encounter any difficulties while we were conducting the 2024 audit. 2023 was getting some age on it, and Lee wasn't here for all of that year. So that was, I wouldn't say it was that we encountered difficulties as much as it was just a little harder to get that old information out of the system and get explanations. So as we've gotten more closer to the present, the audit went very, very, very smoothly this year. Now, as you all know, I've told you all this before, the purpose of our audit is not to find or detect fraud or illegal acts, but our standards require us to perform our audit procedures and to remain aware for any kind of indicators that might be like red flags of fraud or illegal acts. And if we had seen anything like that, we would have already talked. So we did not have anything like that. So overall, the audit went very, very well. I will point out to you all on the very last slide, page number 18, there are some new accounting standards that will be applied. GASB number 101, compensated absence. I think Lee's probably talked to you all about that. That is a new standard that has to do with how you measure the liability you have for the absence, the compensated absences that are provided to your team here. Lee's already finished the work with our advisory group on that, and that's going to be implemented in 2025. GASB statement number 102, certain risk disclosures. She's worked through that as well. We don't anticipate that having any impact on your financial statements. And then as we'll be moving into 2026, there are 2 new accounting standards. One, GASB 103, financial reporting model improvements. It will have some impact on your financial statement package. I describe it as geography changes for you all, but nothing that changes the way the financial statements are measured. It sort of changes the appearance of those, particularly your utility funds. Do you all have any questions on that? Okay. Do you have any questions on the financial statements? I have a few notes if you would like me to go over a few points on the general fund and the utility fund. I want to be sensitive of your time. I'm going to look in the financial statements. It's on page number 15. I'll give you just a second to get there. And Ben did me a big favor of bringing the financial statements. I did not. Okay. So on page 15, this is the statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balance for your governmental funds. The general fund, obviously, is the biggest fund of the city. So this year, revenues in the your overall fund balance decreased about $4.9 million this year. Your revenues decreased about $600,000. That was kind of all across the board, but the biggest driver of that decrease in revenue was in licenses and fees. Licenses and fees decreased about $300,000. And then you've heard this, we hear this everywhere we go. Expenditures were up this year in 2024. They were up about $900,000, again, kind of across the board. But the big driver of that decrease in your general fund balance was your transfer to other funds. So you all transferred about $7.4 million. So that was sort of planned spending of the reserves that you all had. You transferred about $1 million to your Streetscapes Capital Projects Fund, and then another 5.8 to your Parks and Rec Fund, both for capital projects and for operating expenses. So those are the highlights of the general fund. On page number 18, with your utilities funds, statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in net position, the utility fund balance decreased about $39,000 this year. The other thing I wanted to point out on your utility fund was that you do have the bonds on that fund that have certain debt requirements or debt covenant requirements. And I am pleased to tell you all that you met all those debt covenant requirements that relate to setting aside funds for debt service and depreciation, that kind of thing on those funds. So you have about $13 million in what we call restricted cash that is related to those debt covenants. And then on page 19, I think this is the best news of all. The utilities fund had a positive change in their cash and cash equivalents this year of $2 million. That's 3 lines up from the bottom. And your cash flows from operating activities were $2 million. So that means that the revenues that fund is bringing in are paying for the expenses of that fund, and that's exactly what you want a proprietary fund to do. One last fund I want to bring to your attention, and that is your statement of fiduciary position on page 21. This has to do with your police and firefighters, the closed pension plan. So you all had about $1 million, $1,051,000 in cash and investments in that fund, and that you didn't have any liabilities. That makes up any liabilities that needed to be paid at June 30th, 2024. Now, your actuarial determination of the total pension liability that you're going to be paying to the beneficiaries, that was $1,182,000. So you do have a net pension liability for this plan of about $13,000. So that plan's in real good shape. Do you all have any questions for me?
How many are in that fund still? I mean, I know some have passed away, maybe 7, 4, oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we've got that in here.
As of June 30, 24, I think it was 5.
Okay.
It was.
But we have had someone pass last year.
Right.
And that's on page 36
Okay.
of your audit report that's disclosed. So our plan, as Lee mentioned, within the next probably 2 weeks, Lee's going to have the client assistance list ready for us to start on fiscal year 2025, and we will get working with that. Ben has the goal of getting that issued by December the 31st of this year, which will get you all right back on target where you need to be. And then, you know, if you all retain our services, we'll be back here in April or May, working on planning and single audit for 2026. So, thank you all.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I'm just happy we're back,
Yeah.
getting back on target. Thank you, Lee, for keeping this going, and you all for getting it going.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
It's a pleasure to work with the team here. They're really conscientious. Thank you all.
Ms. Compton, any comments?
No, I just appreciate Leanne and Ben and their staff. Landon's really great, Abby's really great, and they're a great firm to work with.
Yeah, I was thinking there and said, man, all them lunches and breakfasts from Chick-fil-A really paid off, right? You got a good audit report. Just kidding.
And
Thank you, ma'am.
just for the record, if I could
Yes, sir.
add, the city fell behind during COVID. Most cities did at the time. If you'll recall, going back 4 years, the market limited our ability to even hire firms because of the work demand on those firms and the retirement in that industry. We appreciate this firm, they're being mobile enough to pick us up. That's a hard thing to do, to add a client like Danville, but over the last year, we've gotten caught up with that missing year. It wasn't missing, but it was the year that was delayed because of COVID, and that was a cycle that we've been trying to backfill, and so it wasn't something that staff or our finance department or the city commission, just for the public at large, was avoiding. It was something that we were actively pushing to try to get caught back to where we're current. We appreciate the firm's support and getting us there in their effort. So, thank you.
And if we can issue this by December 31st, which would be really fantastic, but also, you know, things happen to me, you know. Hopefully not. But that would be 3 audits issued in a calendar year, which is quite a bit of work on their behalf and my staff's behalf. And so I just appreciate Earl's behalf, all the work they all do.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item is Resolution 2025-10-1301, CLG Grant Bid Award. Ms. Compton, you have that one as well.
So, as you all may remember, about a month or 2 ago, we were awarded a CLG grant for the Danville Architectural Heritage Board. And while they are housed under planning and zoning for operations, they are still a city board, so we do have to approve any sort of bids or contracts or grants, things of that nature. So I let Joni know, our DAHB staff, that this is kind of a procedural matter, and that I could handle this for her. She had a further commitment. The DAHB advertised for bids for the grant project, which is to update the signage and public art guidelines for the Heritage Board. There is a need to revisit the sign guidelines. The Danville Architectural Heritage Board and the City Commission, you know, ideally speak as one voice to protect the historical district. I do think it's been several years since the guidelines have been updated, and that planning and zoning rules and DAHB guidelines should be updated to form a more cohesive and similar guidance so that there's not a conflict in those. They advertise for vendors to help perform this for us. There was one responsive bidder. This is kind of a niche area, so that's not uncommon. The bid came in total at $20,480. The grant in total, which would be applied to this this contract, would be $12,480, which would require a city contribution of $8,320.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a motion at this time?
I'll move to approve Resolution 2025-101301.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor of resolution, say aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries. Next item is Resolution 2025-101303, Bull County Health Department contract. Bull County Health Department contract. Mr. Board?
All right, thank you, Mayor. So yeah, in front of you, you have a contract renewal for the Bull County Health Department. Part of our wellness programs is we partner with them to help us with a lot of our screenings, which includes flu shots, Hep A and B shots, Tdaps, skin testing, and biometric screenings. The estimated cost of the contract for the FY 26 is approximately $3,000, which was put into the budget projections. And so staff is just recommending renewal of the contract for another year. They do a great job. Our goal is to, as part of our wellness program, is we would like to schedule our health fair, screening fair sometime in November. In order to move forward with that, we'll have to renew these contract terms.
Thank you, sir. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-101303.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed, likewise, motion carries. First reading of ordinance number 2058, comprehensive compensation classification plan amendment. Madam Clerk, you want to read the first reading of the ordinance?
This is the first reading of ordinance number 2058, an ordinance amending CDO 2-96 pertaining to the classification plan, compensation plan, and policies and procedures for city personnel.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Is there a motion?
Is this the ordinance?
I move for approval of the first reading of ordinance 2058.
Thank you. Thank you all. Before I carry the motion, Mr. Board, is there any comments you want to make about this?
Just that this is just a reclassification request of a vacant position that is classified as the engineering clerk, which would be reclassified to an engineering executive assistant based on review with Josh and Earl on the administrative needs for their department. Does not change the head count of the position, and that's really what that request is for at this time.
Thank you, sir. Any questions from the commission? Hearing now, we need to have a roll call vote. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Caudle,
Yes.
Commissioner Peak, Mayor Atkins.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Holland.
Yes.
Thank you all. Next item is Resolution 2025-101304, the Ephraim McDowell Memorandum of Understanding. Mr. Coffey?
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. We spoke a little bit about this subject earlier today at the joint Parks meeting. The MOU is a relationship between the city and the hospital in discussions with the development of an indoor rec center. Specifically, the document says that we are going to work together with a working group of 3 people in each group towards a proposal. The proposal will include how you would manage and operate and pay for an jointly held or operated, managed indoor recreational center to be determined. The idea is that the original master plan of the wellness center has had in it a gym space on the backside. There's land there available. So the argument is the best use of land inside of the city may be to expand that facility. It's ideally suited for the size that is needed. The MOU defines the approach with coming up with and developing a final proposal for the commission to consider and the hospital to consider. And keeping in mind that's in context with the conversation this morning with option one, where we're talking about moving certain facilities to Millennium Park because that takes advantage of the land there. And then this takes advantage of land and also partnership. And the partnership is additional dollars invested into Parks and Recreation instead of it solely being the responsibility of the city and the county.
Thank you, sir.
We've talked about this at length, I guess, in different times, and we've been trying to lead into it. This is where we've gotten to in terms of the MOU.
Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve Resolution 2025-1013-04.
Thank you, ma'am.
Second.
Thank you. Any other questions to the city manager?
It says, I mean, the cost in there, in the MOA, what is the cost for? Because it's 30,000 per person, per.
Per entity, if needed, to establish construction cost or operating expense, any expert advice that is not contained in the city and the hospital, you would use that money to pay for it. So if you need an architectural rendering of some kind, if you need additional, that is the budget, maximum budget that both parties would be party to.
And then any of the decisions would come back to the commission prior
100%,
to.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
is just a group to study and come back with recommendations.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any type of timeline?
180
6
days.
Okay.
So it expires in 6 months.
Yes.
Okay.
We want to come back as quick as we can. The idea is to get into the budget cycle next year with a continuation of the discussion of parks facilities so that we don't delay it. We want to get into that cycle so that this report is something for you guys to consider next year when we decide what the next step is ultimately.
Okay. Other questions?
Go ahead.
No, you, go ahead.
No, I just had a comment.
Oh, I was just saying, I know there's 3 members. I don't know if it's city staff, commission, what it is a member mix of, but I mean, I'll volunteer. I'm sure there's others up here too, but.
Yeah, I think it would
Because I would
be.
like to be there to hear.
Yeah, I definitely can see it being helpful if one of you all could participate with staff in this one. It doesn't, if you want to volunteer, it'd be probably myself and Josh and Tommy. Tommy would, it'd be up to you guys. Having Josh and Tommy there's duplicative a little bit, but I would like Tommy at the meetings, even if he's not on the committee, right? If one of you all want to push him, and certainly I would step back if you all would prefer Tommy as being on that. I could certainly take a step back myself if that's what you all would prefer to. Doesn't matter to me. I mean, we've not talked about that, exactly the makeup of the committee, but if one of you all would like to serve, absolutely, I know I can step off. Tommy and Josh probably feels the same way. But regardless, we do want Tommy working with the group, is what my ultimate point was.
So after we approve it, does it go to the hospital or has it already been to the hospital?
No, this is essentially a working group to
Right.
develop a strategy and a proposal that if they can get consensus among the working group, will then go to the respective boards, meaning Ephraim's board and the Board of Commissioners here, to further evaluate it and see if it's going to be enacted or if it needs to be tweaked. So I would look at this as like you've tasked the cemetery committee to come up with a plan for future strategic capital improvements in the city's cemeteries, to allow them to do their work, to come up with some proposal that then, if they gain consensus, will then reach your level of review and Ephraim McDowell Health's level of review, at which time then each respective party will decide if there's enough to move forward together. So this is a preliminary strategic initiative to determine if there's consensus on some conglomerate of a proposal to bring back to you.
The hospital's already approved the
That's
MOU
what
on
I
their
was wondering
side.
about this.
Right.
Did
Oh,
they-
I'm
had they
sorry.
already- No, I understand. I just want, that's good. Just that they had already approved this.
They've approved the MOU,
Okay.
which is why it's with you.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll stop asking questions.
It-
I have questions.
Well, that's why we're here. If you didn't answer over the weekend, today's your last chance to answer.
That's right.
Ask them, so ask them before we approve something, right? The only bad questions are those that don't what? Don't get asked. Okay. Any other comments or questions on this MOU?
Well, I'm just encouraged that the hospital has already approved this and that they are proactive. And I've told you this before, Mr. Coffey, thank you for being proactive, talking to the hospital president for the past 4 years, and that they're interested and ready to move forward. So it takes persistence and
Well, they have a
Teamwork.
lot on their plate, too. They've had a major capital campaign, so this now aligns with their workload. Yeah.
great.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, I call for the question. All those in favor of passing this resolution, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, resolution carries. Mr. Coffey, city manager report, or did you just do the report?
Now, I would not want to linger too long. We do have some dates coming up. The biggest thing in October, of course, is trick or treat. That will be citywide on October 31st, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The several events I've noted on the 24th, for example, is trick or treat at Pioneer Playhouse, pumpkins in the park, and night market at Constitution Square. So there's a lot going on. We've footnoted. The Early Childhood Learning Center is still in process. The next date that is coming back to staff is October 28th. One of the things that we will, as we're getting into this Parks Update, Parks Agreement, you see this on the city manager report. I've changed that a little bit based on where we were at in the conversation to continue down that road as we play out the next iteration of projects, whether it be with this MOU, or the process like we discussed this morning. This agreement will naturally take shape. So in other words, if you continue to steer things into Millennium Park, the redeployment of a capital committee probably should be reconsidered. I'm not saying it's a recommendation fully, but it does make a lot of sense. And I think some of the questions when we've gone through the joint meetings before, the city and county, since the merger with Parks and Rec into the city, the county doesn't always feel like necessarily they know about these capital ideas as quick. So this committee concept, if we redo that agreement or update that agreement, would help with that communication. And so we'll continue to work on that. Couple of things related to economic development. The International Shopping Center Association is having their conference or annual meeting in Atlanta this week. The Kentucky or Danville is partnering with the Kentucky Connection City, and so we'll be attending that. I would like to footnote that for the commission if y'all have any comments for us prior to leaving tomorrow. Melanie and I will be attending with the cities as noted, which includes Madisonville, Hopkinsville, E-Town, Nicholasville, Somerset, and Middlesboro. And the idea is that as you're recruiting a retailer into your market, you need multiple locations for them. A retailer isn't necessarily coming to Kentucky for one spot. So we think we've assembled a group of cities that complement each other. For example, if you wanted 3 stores, you could go to Nicholasville, Danville, and Somerset and have one road that connects you essentially. And your manager of those 3 remote locations could handle all 3 locations potentially. So the idea of working with these cities to provide a really a shopping cart of opportunities, that's what we're looking for in this case. Also, the Kentucky Association of Economic Developers are having their annual conference November 4th through the 6th. We will be in attendance there as well. The next coffee with commissioners that I had was for Commissioner Peak, December the 9th. Would like to point that out. This is another one that I wanted to make sure we mentioned. Melanie has come up with a terrific program to honor veterans. It's called Banners for the Brave program. You've seen them in some other places too, and what we're discussing, or what the idea is to display banners highlighting local veterans and active duty service members. Those will be sponsored, a sponsored banner. $50 will cover the cost of the banner. Public Works will install that. They'll be displayed in the summer of 26 and 27, and will be limited to 90 potential banners, first come, first serve. And so we would like to acknowledge that program as an idea. We think it's good. We think it communicates and sends out a good message outwardly. Part of the 250th next summer as well. It is helpful in linking all of the history and those aspects of service into that summer. The EDA met today and approved that access road construction into the Norfolk Southern side, about $482,000. There's $300,000 in the bank. And so we will anticipate a request for that additional gap financing, which was discussed during the budget process. We didn't necessarily allocate money because we were waiting on the bid results before we knew how much. So that is forthcoming, and we anticipate that in probably the first week in November. We should see that in front of you. Any questions?
Any questions for the city manager? Hearing none, thank you, sir. Next item on the agenda is our second Hear the Public, and the public can be recognized and come to the podium and talk to us for 3 minutes or less about 3 minutes or less about items that are not on our agenda. So is anyone desiring to address the commission tonight? Yes, sir. Come up. Oh, is he on, do you have a list? Ms. Compton?
How are you?
Ms. Compton, is he on the list? Go ahead.
My name's James Phillips, and you had answered some of the questions, what I'd ask, or we're going to ask about the Infer McDowell joint thing a few meetings ago that was started talking about. You answered that. I had a question about the ride park, the mountain bike riding park, but I don't know how much the city is involved in that. As far as, my question was, where are they going to make a parking out there? I'll be at the meeting tomorrow, and I was going to ask that tomorrow there. Don't get a lot of chance to speak there anyway.
Josh, can you answer that for me real quick, just because it is a...
Yeah, I think it's a little bit to be determined. The parking is a topic of conversation whenever we meet with the county about it. So I don't have a clear answer yet about the parking, but it's a concern right now of how we incorporate the entrance into the existing convenience center and all those kind of things. So yeah, it's definitely something.
That's what I was trying to kind of figure out, how are we going to get there? You know, how they're going to get in, where they're going to park.
Yep.
Is it going to affect any of the other, what has to, the recycling part of there?
Right.
And let's see, the group you spoke about, so that's like just city officials. It's not anything where like a resident of the county or anything, right, would have any input on any of it?
Correct.
Okay, all right. And one other, the recycling, the trash, they had mentioned a few meetings back about the contamination stuff. Well, I noticed that there's a lot of the cans around are busted or broken, like the tops and stuff were water and that's how they were speaking of the contamination on it, of water damage or getting in on cardboard or water getting in jugs or things like that, or plastic. It looks like where the clamp, the truck, when they're clamping or dumping, looks to me like that's usually some of the damage happens there, sitting it back down. But I was just gonna point that out about it. I missed the chance the last time. Yeah. And that's about it. On the skate park, did we, the consulting, did we get a consulting agreement with the company about like the skate park, the swimming pool in that area right there?
I think you'll be probably 4 weeks away from hearing anything on the skate park.
Oh, okay, all right. All right, but that's all I.
Sir, did you tell us your name for the record again?
James Phillips.
Huh?
James Phillips.
Okay. I didn't.
Thank you. Y'all have-
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. Get you in the record. Anyone else? Next item is commissioner comments. Any commissioner comments?
I'll mention the coffee with commissioners was last week with me at Biscuit Daddy's, which is really good. Hadn't been there. Several sketchy people like Mr. Poland were there and had a good discussion about various things. Particular interest was, the Early Child Development Center at which we're working on, and there's always a topic of property tax and affordable housing and all that stuff that we do have a hand in, but I don't think we have any solutions yet. We're still working on it. So. But it was a good meeting.
Any other comments from the commissioners?
I just have a question, or a comment question. People were asking, on the welcome signs, can you just sort of update on those?
Yeah, I think we're just a few weeks away from the first one being completed. We're trying to decide which one we want to do first as kind of a unveiling, because it'll be, kind of be 2 or 3 weeks install of one, then 2 or 3 weeks install of another. They won't all go in at the same time.
Right.
So I think we're still kind of internally talking about, hey, which one do we want to do first? We've prepped the sites, we've removed the old signs, we've poured concrete to prepare for the new signs. We're working on electric right now. So, we were shooting for October. It's October 13th, so I don't know if that's going to happen. But I think we'll be pretty close. One of the things that may slow us down just slightly, and we're trying to avoid this, is that the state has reached out to us and said that we need to do an encroachment permit for this, which we didn't necessarily agree with, but we're working through the process with them. Hopefully that doesn't hold us up, because we were just putting a sign back where one was previously, but they said that, no, we need to do an encroachment permit. So we've already submitted all our paperwork, and we're looking for approval pretty soon. So, but I wanted to give you all a heads up in case, I jump up here in a few weeks and say, well, we got to wait until the state says okay. So,
That could be a long time.
It could be
Well, I
next
mean,
year,
just, people ask, so I
Yep.
wanted to have you explain that,
Yep.
because, they look clean. It's just,
yeah, that's the, we're real close. I think we're just a few weeks away. Definitely want to get them in before the holidays get here.
You said
for
they
sure.
look what?
clean.
Clean?
It's clean. Well, I mean, where they've cleaned it up, they
Oh,
look
also at the
nice.
bottom of the limestone base?
Right, they do look cleaner. And then Public Works' new sign, that just went up
Yes,
last week.
yeah, that's been a long time coming. We've kind of worked on that for a while, and they're pretty excited about it down there. So it's good to give them a win down there and give them something cool to be proud of.
Well, I thought somebody was going to make a comment about the city-county joint park meeting that was held this morning at 9 o'clock at the Jenny Rogers Community Center. Did I get that out right? I wanted to compliment the commission and the court members on the way we worked well together this morning. I was anticipating a 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock meeting with no lunch break, and we got finished by, 10 o'clock, 10:30, so great meeting this morning, so compliment, hope that continues. Any other comments?
Yep. Alongside that, I think Commissioner Saras would have been proud of the forward thinking and the teamwork this morning at 9 o'clock, so. That's right.
I was just going to point out to the community and to those in attendance here tonight that Commissioner Sears is with us tonight. His wife brought his favorite shirt to occupy his chair for us tonight. And I want to say to the community, I really want to thank you all for the way you've handled the loss of our friend, our brother, and the patience and the empathy that you've shown to the four of us as we continue to keep the city moving and keep some of the goals and directions that Brother Siri worked so diligently. He worked very hard to keep some of these things moving, and parks and rec and trails and all those things were really part of his focus, along with a lot of other things as well. But he's here tonight, and he will be with us for a long time. Okay? Any other comments? Payment of the bills, that's a bad lead in, you have to pay the bills after that, right? But payment of the bills, please. Chair would entertain a motion to pay the bills as presented.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills as presented in the amount of $2,122,236.57. I said that wrong, but
Could you
anyway.
repeat that? Thank you, ma'am.
Second.
Thank you, sir. Any questions about the bills? Hearing none, all those in favor of paying the bill list as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you all. Resolution 2025-05, audit engagement letter. Ooh, Ms. Compton.
So as we discussed during the fiscal '24 audit presentation, attached is our fiscal '25 audit engagement letter, which outlines the services provided by our auditors, along with their responsibilities and our responsibilities. The fee for the FY '25 audit will be $64,300. Which is a slight increase compared to the prior year of $61,250. I think that's a very standard increase for this type of service. They did keep the fee flat for the first 2 years, and pretty similar to an increase that other cities are seeing for professional services.
And with the goal of getting it done by the 31st of December of this year?
I think that was a really good goal.
Well,
I'm not going to hold them to that. I'm just going to be pleased if we
Yeah.
get it done, by February.
Well, that was a shocker when she said that, but that's great. She got a good goal, ambitious goal.
Now, I don't know if she told Ben that was his goal or if that was his warning or not, but,
She told us.
yeah.
Okay, is there a motion?
I'll move to approve Resolution 2025-101305.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, likewise, motion carries. Resolution 2506. Ms. Compton, you have that one as well.
And so I'll let Marshall answer any questions about chemicals and their usage of themselves, but the finance department does assist and coordinate the reverse auction for chemical bids. On your desk is an updated version of our memo. The original one that was in your packet has been updated as well. One of the chemicals, which when you move to the memo, is the last chemical on the list of sodium aluminate solution bulk. We had originally considered reviewing that one and potentially rebidding that one because we did only get one vendor for that particular chemical. But after some internal discussions, we decided that it was unlikely for us to find a responsive bidder, and the price could potentially increase on that even further. So we did update our memo to include that to be approved in this meeting tonight. Unfortunately, we did see an increase in all of our chemicals this year. Our bid team at eBridge who performs the reverse auction for us, did say that that was very indicative across the board in the chemicals they're bidding out. Followed by the memo is the eBridge event summary packet, which shows you the bid activity for each chemical. It just shows, for instance, on that first page of the packet for your hydrofluoric acid, you had over 23 bids for that one particular chemical. So some of them are very competitive, which we feel like results in a better price than just an open mailed-in bid for this type of product. Like we had mentioned in the memo, the one that we don't get much activity on, which we had one bidder last year as well, is the sodium aluminate solution.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a motion?
Make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-10-1306.
Thank you, ma'am. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions from Ms. Compton? Yeah, it's too complicated, this one, isn't it?
And I encourage you guys next year, if you're in town or available, come watch. It's very entertaining.
See how excited she was when she said that?
I'm not kidding. It's a very cool. Most bids, if you're opening bids, you're just opening envelopes, where this is a reverse bid. So each bidder is blind to the other person's bid. So the vendor, they know what position in the bid they are. So they know, okay, well, I've bid, for, $2 per pound. And they know that they're first, second, or third in the bid order, but they don't know how low the lowest bidder is. And so that keeps them pushing to find that lowest available option. And they will go back and forth on those prices to whoever's willing to go the lowest. So we've had a lot of good success with the chemical bid this way and our salt bid, which will be coming up in approximately a month. That one's not as exciting. Just not as many vendors.
Need to create a motion. All those in favor of accepting the chemical bid award list, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. Resolution 2507, Twin Brook Culvert easement. Mr. Morgan.
Yes, thank you all. In your package, you have 3 easements that have been signed by the property owners. For each side of Twin Brook, they're on Shakertown Road, and then the property downstream on the corner of Spring Hill and Shakertown Road. This is for all 3, there is a temporary construction easement 60 feet wide along the creek for us to put in this, install the culvert and reshape the banks. And then on the property we were having trouble getting my packet open. Property on the downstream side of Twin Brook, we're gonna need to get a permanent utility easement from them. I'm trying to get the dimensions here. Because we're having to relocate the water and gas lines. The water line went under the existing culvert and the gas line went over the existing culvert. So we're having to move both of them out from underneath the new culvert. And so we're gonna need to put it out in their yard. That was, address for that one was, that was 305 Twin Brook. That was the Pritchard. So we're impacting Lynn McMain, Michael and Laura Pritchard, and Monty and Lana Owens. They are donating these easements to the city, thankfully. They're all excited about the project, and we're gonna do a good job on it and put their yards back better than they have it now. So everybody's excited. They started today, kind of mobilized today. That's why this is our last, we needed to get these on here tonight. We appreciate the property owners working with us. So Twin Brook is going to be closed for probably a couple of weeks at least as they install this culvert, but there is access around through Streamland on Poplar and Elm back there in the back, so they can get into the backside. We're reaching out to, bus and garbage collection to make sure they can get in and out of there okay. But that's going to occur over the next 2-3 weeks, and hopefully get that street paved and be done with this project before we get into the holidays. So we need to get these easements signed and recorded at the courthouse.
That sounds good. I know they're going to be excited. It's all about water control, right?
Yes.
Okay, do we have a motion?
Yeah, I move for approval of resolution 2025-10-1307.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. Any other questions or comments for Josh? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. There is a need for an executive session dealing with personnel.
Yes, sir. For two reasons. One, we have a specific economic development subject to discuss and proposal to discuss, and also the personnel items.
So the chair will entertain a motion for executive session that he's opposed to, but he'll still accept the motion. Okay,
Go ahead.
I don't know which two.
personnel is one.
First one is the last.
Personnel and economic development proposal.
Okay, I'll do it. So I'll do personnel. Motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel matter pursuant KRS 61.1801F and economic development. Is that good?
There should be, is there a provision on your sheet that talks about?
Business,
Oh, business development?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
A motion to go into executive session pursuant KRS 61.8101G for discussions with a representative of a business entity pertaining to a specific proposal where open discussion would jeopardize the sitting retention, expansion, or upgrading of the business.
Well done. Thank you.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. We're back in regular session. Mr. City Manager, you have some items for us?
I have one. Staff is recommending that you accept the resignation of Aaron Steele from the position of a police officer.
Thank you, sir. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you all. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting this resignation, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Next item?
That's it.
Move
Sure.
to adjourn.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, ma'am.